Alright, welcome back everyone. We are on PRW 4.1. This is going to be encompassing of Souls of the Frozen Frontier, which is version 0.7.4.0, but also up to .1. And it includes all of the things that were added in the new biome, which is way up over here, the Albanese Summits. So it includes everything up there as well, and all the gear. And I'm going to do a tour today. There will be timestamps down below of kind of like the various sections we're going to, in case you get lost. So we're going to start at the Flame. This is the first place you would go. When you come into the game, you spawn into Cinder Vault, and you come here to PRW 4.1. First, we're going to go here to the Armory. Inside the Armory, you're going to find some kind of leftover things. These are things that aren't max level, but are noteworthy. Some of these are quest related. Some of these are 35s that we have not found a legendary version of, or the legendary version is something different. And it has a variety of different things of the like. We got a little cat and a dog in here if you want to come in and get your little buff for 25 hit points. So then starting over here, we have these stairs. So two of the NPCs are in here. We have the Bard and we have the Blacksmith. We've got things like all of your stands, your mannequins, and there is this visual right here. So you got a visual display here, you got a visual display there, a cue to let you know. Right here in this corner, under the stairs if you will, you've got all kinds of scrolls. Experience scrolls, scrolls that do damage output, whatnot. You start here with wands, as you can tell by its visual cue. So you've got wands, you come down to magic items, so damaging your skull vessels, things like that. To staff. We got a whole bunch of these. Then at the bottom here, you're going to have your Eternals. You're going to have other unique items for ammo, if you will. Rings that are, for the most part, magic oriented. Some up here even, when you get into like the exceptional ring of mana. So, and you can tell this because there is a statue that is wearing a magic set. This statue in the middle is wearing the melee set, so you've got your melee gear. Here's your one-hander, your shields, your two-handers. So you can see a variety. There are still some of the older ones, so the original 25s, but then we have all the 35 stuff. And this also, right here, has the snowballs, which are kitschy to be the best, and your bombs and whatnot, all the way over to rings that are melee oriented or health oriented. Then we've got a bow and we've got daggers here. So your one hand, two hand, I realize a bow is technically two hand, but you hold it with one, and you've got some ranger gear up there. So you start over here with bows, you go down into your ammo, pop into your specialty ammo. Then we got a whole bunch of daggers. And we pop down here to stamina-oriented rings. PRW, generally speaking, only has max level gear. Again, we have the same mirror of the other side. Then we have our exceptional. We have a bunch of the songs. And then we have the two base level. So in this armory, we are now going to go down. There are a staircase on both sides. Come down here, we've got this nice statue. This is broken up into three sections. So you have your oldest or lowest level gear starting here, all the way up to the newest. And that's the same side for both this for wizard, mage, this for melee or warrior, and then for your archer or ranger, it starts with this piece here and it runs all the way around to this side, and then it gets all the way to here with the current highest level. So You can see how many sets there are, all complete. There are also, on this outer ring, if you want to call it, all of your cosmetics. So same thing, full set of cosmetics all the way down this side, over here, and then a little bit less all the way down. You got all your silly hats here. This is connected. This is the beds for the NPCs, the crafters. This is connected to the basement. So if you come down from the basement, we'll start up here because people have been noticing they can't find the basement. It spawns you in about standing right here. The basement is right here. This is the farmer's house. She stands up there at the top. There's your farmer. So we go down in here to the materials basement. You've got your boxes, if you need containers for yours. Lots for the big ones, less for the other sizes. But it has all the sizes. And it has magical of all of them. So this is oriented essentially, there are as many physical cues as I could give. So you can see there is a mushroom growing there. So probably somewhere around here you're going to find something that looks like mushrooms. Somewhere around here. There they are. And you can see we've got the growth up there. So somewhere on this side, we're going to find... Oh, it's right there. So it's luminous growth right there. These, you can see, they are roofs right there. So that's where we're going to find the roofs. There are 2 full stacks vertically of every single type, and it goes all the way to here. And you can see up a rough indication, like this has metal up here, so one of these is going to be just metal. Here it is right here. And you can see the lights up there, so that's going to be lighted block here. And you kind of get the idea. Then we go over here, you got this bush right here, because there's bush here. I did my best to give as many visual cues as I could, but unfortunately a lot of this stuff, like I can't give visual cues for fabric. I mean, you can, it's not the easiest thing, and then it just lies there on the ground. How do I give cues for runes and stuff like that? Your upgrade pieces. That's more difficult, so I did the best, like this sack here, because there's food nearby. Most of this is going to be your raw food. Some of it does have stats, but most of it's your raw food. So you get some idea of where things are. I'm not going to go through every single box, but your stuff from the VUCA are all over here. Then stuff from your hollow halls are all right here in these spots. Then it moves over to your Albanese summits. And this is all your pets and whatnot. And we have babies of all of them too. Pet beds, food, you name it. All the planters, they are still in their original spot, which is in the bottom of the hollow hall, but they're here as well. So you get some idea. This is where all the materials are. If you need something to craft something or something to build something with, they're all in here. You can connect to the hollow hall through here. I'm not going to go there yet, but I'm just letting you know you can connect through that. Now we're going to go up. We're going to go through here. If you need the hunter or the carpenter, they're right here. If we go through this, the alchemist is right here. All of these, by default, have been set to never move. They were wandering around too much. People were having a hard time finding them. I just set them all to never move. So if we come over here, that's the square. It's around the outside of the hollow hall. In front of the square in this one are your roads. Makes sense, it's right here next to the road. On this one, stuff you can use as roads. You know, moss and soil and snow and all that. And then this is your food pavilion. You see I've got visual cues in that I've got sacks of things and whatnot. But these are your potions, your buffs, all the things you're going to need to get into places like keys. All of your warming food for the new zone. High level food for all your buffs. That kind of stuff. and water in this one. Is it this one? It's this one. Water here. There's also a box in the basement that has water as well. So this spot here, of course, here's your workbench. This spot here is an extra. Most of these are also over there in the square. Not everything, but these are all in the square as well. But since I couldn't fit everything in the square, this is where all the graves are. And since so I have that as your cue that there is something similar in here. I've got that one as a cue, this one here. So you get some idea of what's going to be over here. Everything that is similar to what you would build for a crypt and all that is in this little sunken section here. So now if we do, it doesn't really matter which side we do, this is your square. And just like with anything, there are visual cues. Now I haven't changed much of this. This is pretty much what Crazy Loon built originally. I had to move it back. I've added a couple things like this guy right here. But other than that, I didn't really do much with any of this. I just changed how this sets, and I still have to change all these over to non-magic. But you've got all of your equipment on this side. So this side's equipment and tools. That side in the back is decoration. So all of your workbench, your scarecrow. Not all of these are full because I have been able to do pretty well in moving things around. You want to get over here. This is something people ask a lot about. Where are the summoning staves? Where are the tools? Where are the gliders? That kind of stuff. This is where they're all at. So you can get all that. Here's your secret doors. Then you come over and you've got all of your trophy heads, including the heads themselves. If you just want to make them yourself, you've got the head. So all of these that are 50 up here, then all of these that are 10 are the actual trophies themselves. Dishware, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This gets into your more like flair items, right? So these are useful, obviously. But you get into all the stuff that you can place around. These are actually functional now, which is really cool. They gave them to us. Steel portcullis that does actually work, which I didn't realize the first time I talked about it. So you get the idea here. You want your poles. They're here. Oops, we're missing one bucket. Poles are up there. You can see where things are. There's books right here, so there's books right below it. There are desks and things here, so right below it you're going to have all kinds of cabinets and desks and various things. The general rule of thumb in each section, so if this is the first section here, you're going to start with the lowest level and you're going to move your way up. For the most part, it becomes a pain to change every single box to make sure that just the standard wood one is the bottom. We go to doors and windows, same similar thing. You start with the crappy door and you move up in quality as you go up into the nice hobbit doors and then into the big boy doors, etc., and into your windows. Then you get exactly what you see. It's right on the tin. It's right below it. Lights. This whole thing below it is all lights. So if you want something that glows or shines, it's right below it, just exactly like you see. Same with the bathroom. Pretty self-explanatory. It's right below. Oh, I'm missing several. I need to update this, don't I? Fireplaces. Right below the fireplace. You can imagine what's right below these things and what's right below these things. It's all to be as logical as I could think of to lay it out. And the interesting part is I didn't really change this. This is the way Crazy Loon set it up. I just added more to it because I had to with all the updates. This section here I added completely because we just didn't have enough room. So this is all of your display items, the things you put in the displays, you name it, all that kind of stuff. All of your statues and paraphernalia that you can toss around your space in order to be able to do stuff. So you get the idea of where all the stuff is. Now, the last person to show you and it's how we'll go and connect the dots below, is the collector. This is the hollow hall. This is the only building that I constructed. Here's your collector. So he's got all his stuff. There is a secret right here. This is how I first learned how to create the angled chains, and the chains in the ground for that matter, and built this thing, which is creepy and cool at the same time. It has a secret entrance to the outside. Also has another workbench in here. So in this we go down. We get the big boy doors, which still are 2 blocks higher than what you see this. And unfortunately there isn't enough room, so I need to come and close it. What's up, Mr. Man? So we've got an intact skeleton statue down there. On this side, I'll show you this side first, you have an actual range. So, and a dude sleeping on the floor in front of the range. Well, I mean, okay. They have their own set of bathrooms. This is where all the living quarters are, essentially. The locker room, if you will. They have a balcony to look out. Very swank indeed. To look down to the graveyard. And then we have the... You guys all have beds. I don't know what your problem is. We've got this job, which with a functional, not functional keg. Not real keg. Using the Ketmal design of the bedroom to make a shelving for the plates. So where all of the extra NPCs are is here. So this is the barracks. You got beds up here, beds down there, one in here, and even more down here. So there's lots of beds. I have no idea. There's a bed for every single one of them. It's beyond me why they can't find a bed. We have the prison or jail cell. That guy had a bad time for sure. And then if we come out here, you've got the original bridge that did go further once upon a time, and it just got too big. I had to curtail it. This is how you get to the basement. Come up here. I had to figure out some way to hide these, and so I made this. Made it look like there was a rock slide that came through. That's how you get to the basement right there. The whole bottom's connected. The whole top is... I mean, it's not connected, but you just walk between them. And then there's this that you can actually get through. Doesn't look like it, but you can. And then you have the oubliette. I made this look like the rocks caved in and smashed it open. Knocked a bunch of these over. You know, tried to make it a little creepy. Then we have what would maybe be the original tomb for like the first king of the Hollow Hall. Now there's another alternate method to get up. It's right here, if you choose to. And it's right there. There's also one more section, which is right here. So this still has the pots if you want them. And it's all still, and these are all still functional. So you can still utilize this if you want. I just relocated those to the basement for extra value, make it easier. Alright, I appreciate you watching. And I will link this, or this will be linked in the OP of the thread for PRW 4.1. Thanks for watching, everybody.